perplexing about what you're looking at is that most of the destruction was done in a period of about 8 to 10 minutes. That's it. Within 4 hours, the waters had receded and left behind what you saw here, including 26 people that lost their lives.
We continue to look back at Cabot's career over 30 years at Channel 4 as he prepares to retire and leave us with a very different 5:30 Live, though, show. In early July 1990, this was Shadyside, Ohio, struggling to recover from a devastating flash flood. Might have been the worst in the time that I've been in Ohio. And that show was done less than 3 weeks after the flood. It was a culmination of a Fours Army effort to raise money for the Red Cross in Shadyside.
Certainly not the lighthearted 5:30 show that was the norm, but one of the most powerful for me as we return, my photographer Charles Busby and I, to the Ohio River town where 4 inches of rain in an hour had created tidal waves nearly 40 feet tall, quickly washing away homes and lives.
Now tonight at 6 o'clock we're going to give $175,000 from all of you in Central Ohio to the people.
That Doug Adair, who I would replace a few years later, talking about a 2-week drive by our Fours Army to help the people of Shadyside in Belmont County, devastated by a flash flood on June 14th, 1990. It would be one of the most powerful Live at 5:30 shows I ever was a part of.
Well, what is so shocking to me, I think, is look at the creek. It is shallow. It's maybe 2 inches deep here right now. It just doesn't look like it's capable of that kind of destruction. Tonight's show isn't just to concentrate on all the damage and the tragedy. It's to concentrate on the hope and perhaps even the miraculous.
Like 80-year-old Velma Wallace, who says the 90-year-old Pipe Creek United Methodist Church next to her lifelong home was demolished but saved her and her mother's life.
So probably the church at least deflected a lot of the force of the water that direction.
That direction. I think that God wants us to stay here for a while longer and continue his work.
The fleshy part of me yearns, but the spirit part, I think, is pushing the fleshy part down.
Or Herman Adams, who watched his daughter and 2 grandsons swept to their deaths in the trailer home next to his house. We found him as he prepared to go back in his home for the first time.
He believes his life was spared for a purpose, and for strength, he spends a lot of time reading about another who was well acquainted with grief.
I have the faith of Job now, I think. I think I do.
And as the rain fell, I joined Doug Adair, reporter Allison Ash, and a local church choir on the creek bank, still covered in debris, singing a hymn of hope in the midst of tragedy.
What have I to dread? What have I to fear? Leaning on the everlasting arms.
I spoke to Rose Marie, a Facebook friend of mine who grew up in Shadyside. She sent me pictures of the monuments to those lost that are along each creek, the Ouija and the Pipe Creek. And that close-knit town has weathered some very tough times economically, but they're still a strong community, very close. And they have an event every year around this flood to celebrate the homecoming, people coming back to remember.
And you mentioned Buzz went with you, our photographer Charles Busby. He's from that area.
Yes,
he is.
His
hometown area. So that also had a lot of meaning for him. And Buzz is still with us, too. You're leaving us, Buzz.
Buzz is still, he's the remnant, but yes. But one of the great shows. And we're going to do this every Wednesday, and we'll see what's up next Wednesday. A little